In 1973, we had a bumper crop in the wheat crop that year, and Glenn Pratt, my father-in-law, had several sections of wheat land that were just bumper crop wheat, and it was in June. They were getting ready for the wheat harvest, and we noticed, some storm cloud building up. We're in White Deer, and the farms were between us and Amarillo to the south west, and so we got to noticing in the west some clouds were building up, and they looked really menacing. And so I go in and I turn the news on, and Dan True is standing in front of his weather map, and he's talking about this storm, and he said there's this huge storm that is built up over Amarillo, and it's got grapefruit size hailstones, and it's just pounding the roofs off of houses in the north and eastern part of Amarillo, and this whole storm system is headed towards Carson County. Amarillo was in Potter County, and the next county over was Carson County, and that's where the farms began, and that's where all of Glenn Pratt's farms were in Carson County. He farmed at that time, I believe, 7 sections of farmland, and that spread clear across the county from the east side all the way, from the west side all the way over to the east side of the county. And so he had wheat, bumper crop wheat, all over that county, and the hail was just pounding Potter County and Amarillo to pieces. And so Norm and I went out on the front porch and looked out there, and we saw these huge menacing clouds with the green, purple bulges underneath that signify hail, and we could tell it was a monster storm, and we knew that it was headed for the wheat field and it would wipe out all these farmers. And so we stood on the front porch of our house, and we pointed our fingers at that storm, and we said, "You will not hail one hailstone in Carson County. We forbid it in the name of Jesus. We forbid you to hail or even for the wind to blow in Carson County." And when the news came back on, it said the strangest thing has happened. When that storm hit the county line, the hail stopped, and that storm went all across Carson County, and we were on the eastern side of the county, and we were not far from the Gray County line, but we were still in Carson County. That storm went over us, and when it crossed over into Gray County, which is where Pampa, Texas, and Kingsmill and those little towns were, it turned loose and just beat the phooey out of Gray County. Pampa, those towns just got beat up with this hail, something fierce. But what we didn't know until later was Ricky Fowle was holding a revival meeting in Wheeler, Texas, for Keith Johnson at that Wheeler church, and he was standing out in front of wherever he was staying, and he was rebuking that storm, and he was telling that storm, "You will not hail in Wheeler County. We bind you. We will not allow you to hail in Wheeler County." And so when that storm crossed over Gray County, it just pounded that ranch land. Mostly ranch land and oil fields and whatever, and just pounded it with hail. And when it hit the Wheeler County line, the hail stopped. And not one hailstone fell in Wheeler County, just like not one hailstone fell in Carson County. And then when the storm got to the Oklahoma line, where Wheeler County ends and Oklahoma begins, and crossed into Oklahoma, it cut loose again, and this time there were tornadoes and high winds and hail and lightning and just a fierce storm, because I guess it was mad by then. But when we began to compare notes later, we found out that not one hailstone fell in Carson County or Wheeler County, but Potter County, Gray County, and Oklahoma got beat up by the hail. And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. All right, bye-bye.